Mr. Tarrou, I'm doing this video in response to viewers of my cursive tutorial where I included my upper and lowercase letters but left off the numbers. So some people are asking me, hey, where are the numbers at? So just a quick little recap, when you do write with a calligraphy nib, you need to hold that nib so that it is 45 degrees thereabouts to horizontal. So, and you know, this is with chalk, so it's not going to be absolutely perfect, but as you go across my title, Cursive Tutorial Number Edition, you'll notice that these letters are getting thin all at about that same parallel angle that should be, again, roughly 45 degrees from horizontal. Now, remember that when you're writing with a calligraphy nib that you need to pull the pen. You can't push against it. Now, that'll work for pencils and regular ballpoint pens, but not for calligraphy pens, and really not for fountain pens. Can be even a little bit sketchy on that as well, though they should write smoothly. So I'm going to work through these. I'm going to write out these 10 numbers, and they're going to be probably more strokes than you would use, again, if you're using just a pen or pencil. And we'll go back again and do it if you were just using a regular writing utensil. And please, I know that we all type and we text and we're on the internet or whatever, and we don't write that often, but when you do write on a piece of paper, that is a representation of you. So you should practice and you know, work on that handwriting, because, well, when someone reads that, they're getting an example of you know, how much pride you put into your work. So the number 0 would just be 2 strokes of pulling that pen, starting at the top and coming down, and then just coming over and finishing the right-hand side of that 0. The number 1 would be 1, 2, and then if you want to put a nice base on it, 3. The number 2 is going to be 1, 2, and 3 strokes. Number 3 would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, with a pen or pencil, I'd want to just keep pushing that around, but with a calligraphy nib, you're going to have to pick that up and try and hit that line as you finish the bottom loop of the 3 and get it lined up as best you can. So there's 0, 1, 2, and 3. Number 4 looks something like this. Number 5, so that's 1, 2, 3, and 4 strokes of your pen. And if you go look for, you know, go to your library or go to a bookstore and start looking up different forms of calligraphy, different fonts, if you will. This is a pretty basic list of numbers that I'm giving you. They can become very elaborate depending on the font that you want to write in. So we have 6. And if you don't want to go to the trouble of looking up those books, even, you know, it's never a bad idea to learn, you can put your own flair on these numbers as you get more comfortable with writing them. Number 7. So it's 1, 2, 3. I like to put like just a little tail on the base of my 7s, and to just make sure that they don't blend in with any letters that I'm writing as well, I like to put a little dash through the middle of the 7. It's not really that uncommon, but most of us do not include it. Number 8. If you get this really balanced, you can just do it in 2 strokes. There's 1 and 2. Now as I step back, I'm not really sure if I'm in love with that 8, and I also don't know what to do with my eraser. Oh, there it is, we're back. Okay, so not in love with that 8. Let's try that again. How about we got 1 and 2. So, you know, it just takes consistent practice, and I'm happy with that. So there's 8 and one last number, 1, 2, and our number 9. Again, I like to put like a little bit of a tail on that just to give it some flair. There's not much you can do with these numbers that finish, especially like a 0, that just sort of loop back on themselves. So that's our zeros, you know, our numbers 0 through 9. Now, with a regular pen or pencil and not having to worry about, you know, just pulling with that calligraphy nib, you might say that this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's just another sort of sequence of strokes that I use to write my 8s, and then finally 9. And that is at least how I write my numbers, along with my sort of cursive calligraphy font that I write in every day. I'm Mr. True. Bam! Go do your calligraphy.